Hey folks, Matt from Art of the Image. Back again with our reader question about RAW versus JPEG, the age-old debate. And on this video, we're going to follow up on the last video. I gave you the reasons why to shoot RAW over JPEG. Here I'm going to give you the reasons why to shoot JPEG over RAW, and there are some. So, first of all, speed. Frames per second, and not necessarily always frames per second, but as far as speed of processing of the camera. Cameras can also often shoot faster in JPEG than they can in RAW, and they can maintain that burst speed faster and longer in JPEG than in RAW. So in other words, if you're shooting something, sports event or something like that, something fast moving where you want to bang, 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 you're machine gunning it, your camera's going to be able to keep up in JPEG, but you're going to probably run into your buffer in RAW. You're at least going to run into it a lot faster than you would have in JPEG. You're going to hit that buffer because the file is so much bigger, and you're going to run into the buffer on the camera's memory that it has to pause to write to the file. You can often see this in time-lapse photography. If you're doing time-lapse, that's where I've seen it. If I've got my intervals down really close, if you're in RAW, you're going to hit the buffer, and you might not even, you won't make the settings that you've put in for time-lapse. If you're in JPEG, your camera should be able to keep up, especially if it's one of the newer ones. 60D will keep up, D7000 will keep up, no problem. Number two, file size. RAW files, no brainer here, big files. Even compressed, they're bigger than JPEG. JPEG files, smaller. Some people will tell you only need to shoot medium, normal JPEG. So it just depends on what size. But regardless, even a high resolution JPEG at full quality is a lot less file size than a RAW file. So file size on your card for how many images you can get on the card, and file size on your computer for how fast your hard drives are going to fill up. You're backing up to DVDs, any media that you're backing up to or saving to. Obviously, you're going to get more JPEGs on than RAW. So file size is the second one. Speed of delivery is the third one here. Let's say you're shooting an event for a business, and they need the images right away after the event because they're going straight to the website with them, or straight to a video or to the news or something like that. So the terms are that you have to deliver right away. Well, where are you going to find the time to process the RAW? Now, you can shoot RAW plus JPEG as long as you don't mind the speed hit on your camera for as far as how fast it can work with writing the two of them, if your camera slows down for that. However, most situations, most pros, a lot of us, what we do is that we just shoot in JPEG at that point. Or, like I said, RAW and JPEG, because if there is an image that's troublesome, at least you can go back and fix it later and pass it off to the client later. But shoot it right, shoot it in JPEG, and hand it off, and you're done. So you can't really do that with RAW. You can do it with JPEG. So speed of delivery, if that's a client requirement or even a requirement of your own, if you're shooting something where you need that stuff up right away and you don't have the time for post, you don't have the time to deal with RAW files, you just need it ready to go. And then the last one is, I'm going to throw in no interest in post-production. This is something that some people actually don't like, fiddling around with their files in Photoshop or Lightroom or whatever. They want to shoot it. They want to shoot it to the best of their ability and be happy with the file, and then not do a lot of tinkering with it. As such, they don't really need RAW files or want them. And that's fine. If you're happy to shoot in JPEG, if you're able to get a good image in JPEG, and that's why, because you just don't want to tinker with them in post, then you get all the other advantages of the saving on the file size, the speed of the camera, etc. So that's the fourth one, that some people just don't feel the need or don't want to monkey around with them in RAW afterwards, don't want to do any post-production and enhance it, or pull the mids up, or do all these other things you would do that would be better in RAW. Then why not shoot in JPEG if that's the case, if you're really not interested in doing post? So there you go. There's four reasons to shoot JPEG over RAW. It's an age-old debate. You'll see tons of arguments on this online in the forums, shoot RAW versus JPEG. Frankly, unless speed of delivery is an issue, in a professional situation, I think you should be shooting RAW. It's my personal feeling. However, there's four good reasons for shooting JPEG over RAW. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon with some new video posts. We'll keep you up to date with what's going on in the world of photography. Thanks. Bye-bye.